I started my edtech journey with Byju's. You can say that I'm a veteran in India edtech. Before even the term edtech became popular, I've been doing edtech. So since 2007, when Byju's was a coaching class, we have been working on this. Started with test prep, moved on to K-12, did early learning, and now I'm with Upgrad doing working professionals, upskilling the market post K-12. So pretty much I have touched every aspect of it. So I can at least to some extent claim that I know a bit of it, which is what I will try to do in the next 5-10 minutes. Yeah, so the topic is internationalization. I think there has been no better time for Indian edtechs to go out and capture the market internationally than today. What's happening world over is that it's no longer sorry, it's no longer about those large infrastructure you need to bring out. Last few months have forced people to start accepting consuming learning online and trying to say that this is as good as going to a campus and doing it. I mean, this is the times are unprecedented, right? Harvard just onboarded their smallest cohort ever, maybe in last 100 years. I mean, so what I am seeing in last few months is that people, at least the number of people who are open to looking at online education, be it in the K-12 space or the working professional space, or especially in the early learn space, because you don't have a choice, the kids are all home, have almost become 10x. Still, there are challenges involved. If you ask me what is the spend they will do on consuming a product online, still there are challenges. The COVID has ensured that uncertainty prevails, the sales cycles are longer. But good part is that there is a widespread acceptance. So what smart edtech companies are doing is we are all trying to take the advantage of it. With a great product, you're going to the customers and telling them that, why don't you sample it out? Maybe take it for free, figure it out with the absolute confidence that the product is so good that next time when they're thinking about doing learning or education, they will look at online and offline in the same way. So that's what is happening at a global level. Second trend which is emerging is that because everything is online, the geographic boundaries are not applicable. I can go out and sell anywhere and everywhere. In fact, if I take the case of Upgrad itself, our international business have almost tripled in last 3 months. And this is also because of a new group of people from these advanced markets like the US, the Western Europe, Middle East, Africa, coming out online looking for quality education at the same time at a very, very competitive prices. So no longer is people saying that I will do an MBA spending $200,000. They really want to do an MBA trying to spend less than $15,000. And the economy has also changed, right? There are a lot of people in this middle class and lower middle class who are forced to upskill because they are losing jobs. It's no longer the same. So what I'm observing is that, especially in the Western markets and Western Europe, US, and to some extent the middle markets, Middle East, Southeast Asia and all, there is now a group of customers who is behaving in a similar way like an Indian value customer behaves. And this opens up humongous amount of opportunities for Indian edtech, because there's nobody who can deliver this quality at the price we are doing. Nowhere in the world you can do it. Chinese can compete, but Chinese, the English aspect of Chinese, they can't do the way we are doing it. So what I'm seeing is that everyone is growing in there. You take early learn stage, like what White Hat Junior is trying to do. White Hat claims that 60% of their revenue from the last 4 months had come outside India. And they're teaching coding, something which US and the Western world is known really for. Our case, I already told you. Multiple other companies in the working professionals are seeing the same thing. So my only point of view to all the entrepreneurs who are looking out will be that currently the situation is that you don't really need to think too much about being in India or being in a specific market. The world is a market for you. rather than a geographical demarcation of the customers, you should really look at a value perception based demarcation of the customer. Is it a SECB or an SECB plus customer who is sitting anywhere in the world who can consume my services? Finally, that is what it is. One more, and a very important thing is that, see, in our country at least, the most celebrated startups are the ones who get most valuation. It is finally not about revenue or profitability or anything, right? It is unfortunate. I am seeing that changing also. But in the new world, what will be important is to build out a business which feeds into itself. And it is really possible in edtech. You really don't have too much of infrastructure investment. You really have a very, very large market to play with. So you can invest in sales and marketing, and you have an opportunity which nobody else have. So what I would suggest is, if you are an entrepreneur who is really looking at edtech in a big way, number one, look at global. Don't get yourself confined to any geographical boundaries. Number two, from the way go, keep a very good, at least track on your cost structure. In the future, it is the P&L which matters more than the GMV factors which everyone has been talking about. I don't really need to tell you, you all know what is happening around you, and it's going to be more and more serious. Funding will be tough, but always good companies will keep getting funding. You can see large scale consolidation coming in there. So these are the broad contours which I am seeing. One more example which you can go out and check is this company called Springboard. So Springboard is always, if you go to the West Coast in Valley and all, that's the most hottest company in edtech today. They do programming, they do a lot of boot camps. Before COVID, they were really popular. A lot of people thought that it's a West Coast company, but the founders are based out of, are Indians. It's an Indian company. Their office is in Bangalore. So that's how the world is moving to. And that's, I would say, are few of the things you should remember.